Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Darrell Winninger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center. We're about to do one more deep dive in your most reliable forecast, focus on the flat fire, some other things that are happening across the high desert and what you can expect through the next 7 days. Now I know I already did my main deep dive into the forecast, but I just wanted to give you an update on everything flat fire and what else we're continuing to track. So we're going to start off with evacuation zones. We're doing it county by county. There are level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations in both Jefferson and Deschutes County. So first, Jefferson County, we haven't seen too much in the way of change since about 5:30. During the 5 to 6 o'clock hour, that's when most of these changes happen. And we saw some reduction on both sides of the footprint of this fire. In fact, most of Crooked River Ranch is out of any evacuation zone. There's still a very thin area where there is a series of level 1 be ready evacuations, and I zoomed in just a little bit so you can see some of the roads there, and it goes all the way to the county line. West of that, there is a level 2 be set evacuation zone, and that goes all the way to Lower Bridge Way. And then further past that, that's where you're actually getting into the footprint of the fire. And going to the north of that, Grandview, pardon me, yeah. So Grandview up here, and that is mostly in a level 1 be ready evacuation. South of that, that's where it's level 2. And then coming over here, Lake Billy Chinook 6, the northern half of that has just dropped off the map, and they mended some of the ones further off to the west, starting to get up towards Camp Sherman, to where we have more level 1s and 2s. Now, the 3 main zones right here haven't really changed all day or the last couple of days. Now, when we go ahead and move to the south and focus on Deschutes County, a lot of the level 3 evacuation zones have remained the same. We've seen a little bit of movement over here on the east side of the footprint, where we've actually seen a little bit of change there, and along the 126 corridor. This zone right here that is centered around Hurtley Ranch Road. That one was actually cut in half because it went up towards Lake Drive and Old Military Drive. Once it got cut in half, everything close to 126 from just outside of Sisters all the way through Cloverdale was lowered to a level 2 evacuation zone. And there are still several level 1 evacuation zones still impacting the east side of Sisters and just out of town. And so that's something we're continuing to track, is the full evacuation map here across parts of our Tri-County area that have to do with the flat fire. Good news is that across Central Oregon today, we had showers and only a handful of cells that were even capable of producing lightning. Now, there was one thunderstorm south of Paulina that produced several lightning strikes, a few lightning strikes in southeastern Deschutes County, and another cell that was fizzling out as it rolled in. Once it got to the 97 corridor, we did see a few lightning strikes, a little less than a half dozen, all in total. In and around Central Oregon, 41 lightning strikes. Some of them were on the other side of the Cascades, a little closer to Portland. It really just focuses on everything that's in this camera view. And so in and around Central Oregon, 41 lightning strikes, not too bad, but there were a few light thunderstorms. The next couple of days, this pattern is going to continue, and by tomorrow, some of that thunderstorm activity over the Cascades. Now looking over towards the wildfire perimeter. Earlier today, there were a lot more hot spots on the map, but since then, the latest information shows there are only a couple spots where we have some hot spots, and one of those is well to the north of Cloverdale. Between about Hinkle Butte and the county line, there were a couple of hot spots. And remember, these hot spots are derived from satellite imagery. And just to the north of Geneva, close to the start of the fire, a little bit to the west, there were a few hot spots there as well. So across the high desert, yes, we still have some hot spots for the flat fire, but for the most part, we don't have anything that's much of a worry right now. And a lot of that was due to the rain that pushed through the high desert. Now, we're still going to be tracking everything to do with the flat fire, as long as these evacuation zones continue. continue. As long as firefighters continue to fight this fire, we are going to be hyper-focused on what's happening there. But if we just turn our attention briefly, 70 miles to the southwest, just on the other side of Diamond Peak, over the crest of the Cascades, there's a new fire that started yesterday afternoon, I think during the 2 o'clock hour. Since then, it has already expanded. We're talking within 36 hours, it grew 6,000 acres. Now, with this fire, at this time, there are no evacuation levels at all, and it is well to our southwest, and we are going to continue to track this one as winds shift around during the next couple of days. Because it's low pressure system, we can catch some of that smoke. But just to be on the safe side, we are going to go ahead and go back to an evacuation map, and we are going to go down there and see if there are any evacuation zones for this fire. And we get past the Tri-County area. Okay, here's where this fire is. There's Diamond Peak, and I believe that's Odell Lake. And so we don't really have anything that we're really concerned about from this fire when it comes to evacuation zones, but it is growing really quickly, and it's already gotten up to 6,000 acres since 2 p.m. yesterday. And again, it's 70 miles to the southeast of where the flat fire is. Now, when we go ahead and look at a couple of the Oregon Hazard Labs cameras, specifically the Willamette Pass one, we can actually see the immigrant fire on the other side of Diamond Peak. This is at Willamette Pass, at the snow park, and it's right now pointed to the southeast. And as the sun set, you could really see that smoke plume. Then you could see the glow of the fire, and overnight the glow of the fire continued. And you could actually see at times it was pulsing a little bit more active. And so that is something we're continuing to really track as well. It was a lot drier on the other side of the Cascades than right here on the high desert, and so they didn't get the saturating rain that we had today. Now, when it comes to air quality currently, winds are a little on the variable side, swinging around to the south, and we have good to moderate air quality for the hourly average for the DEQ, mostly moderate air quality for those real-time sensors, courtesy of East Space Labs, a company right here in Bend. And as we go forward through the next couple of days, we're still looking at rain. We're still looking at some thunderstorms, and between now and 7 a.m., some showers, a few more like sprinkles. Through Wednesday, Tuesday, scattered rain becoming widespread at times, and the chance for a few thunderstorms, very similar to what we had today, periods of clearing. By Wednesday, we have one more chance of rain before this entire system lifts out of the region and really fizzles out, and that's going to leave us with more sunshine by the time we get to Thursday and Friday. So Tuesday and Wednesday, some showers, some thunderstorms. We're still looking at smoke periods of quite possibly even poor air quality. By Thursday and Friday, we catch that sunshine, get our next heating trim, but we don't go far and we don't stay long. By Saturday, temperatures start to come back down, and really through the 7-day planner, we have roller coaster temperatures. We're going to be near and above average for this time of the year, but here in the next 48 hours, we're looking at 80s, a few 90s possibly, and maybe even some 70s, similar to what we had today. Depends on when the rain starts up, how long it sticks around, and what parts of the high desert get our clearing, but we're not going to know that until we start to see these showers begin to develop. All right, that's the latest in weather. Join us tomorrow for Central Oregon Daily News. I believe Scott Elness is going to be on the morning show, and they're going to have a whole lot of fun. I think him and Megan are going to be doing that. And then I'll be back tomorrow night at 5, 6, 7, and 11 right here on Central Oregon Daily News. That's ABC and CBS. We'll see you then.